Hey guys, this is Brooke. You're watching The Vintage Gardener, and I thought I'd give you guys an update on how the first few days of my house being on the market went. So the first person came on Saturday. That was the video I showed you where I was giving you the house tour. They came a few hours later. After the video was over, I did finish cleaning stuff up, and the showing happened, and then I got a report. And so the person did not like the house. They were not a fan, and they were pretty nasty in the comments, and were saying things like, "Well, this house needs so much work. Don't understand that because it's brand new construction, and that given the price that's being asked, there was just too much work that has to be done, and the house is in bad condition." And then they said the house wasn't clean. Not sure what that was about because I cleaned. So the next day, the realtor came over for the open house. I told her about the comments that I got the day before because I was really upset about it because I did clean, and so she said, "Well, I wouldn't worry about it." She told me that the same thing had happened just the day before at a different open house, and she said, "And the house is clean." She did a tour of the house. Didn't have a negative thing to say about it. She just said, "This is beautiful, it's cute, blah, blah, blah." So the open house happens. I get a report saying 14 people came. I'm like, that's great. And there were some other comments about style, like things people didn't like stylistically, which I'm not surprised by. But then the biggest thing was that someone was like, the last comment was like, "Oh, the house wasn't clean," which I'm like, okay, the realtor didn't say anything. So I did ask them about it, and the woman said, "Well, the woman did say that your house could benefit from a deep cleaning. Like a lot of times people have professionals do it." You should have told me that. Really? I mean, you wait till after, like, only because I asked, you told me that. So they probably didn't see anything because, like I said, no comments were made. I mean, the listing agent saw my house a few weeks before. She noted she thought the house looked fine. She didn't even give me a list of, okay, well, here's a few projects you need to do, like nothing. So my mom's like, "Well, at the end of the day, Brooke, they were in the house. They didn't say anything to you, so I wouldn't take it too much to heart because if they thought there was an issue, they would have said something." The bigger issue is that everyone kept asking, "What's up with the environmental sign?" So I'm on a dead end street. So I'm the last house. Next to me is a township property. There used to be an old, not an old building. I think it was like part of their like Department of Neighborhood Services, like where they I guess had, I don't know. All I know is that they had oil tanks and fuel tanks on the property. They demolished the building and had the tanks removed. I'm not really sure what happened because I got conflicting stories, but apparently there was a notation when the building was being demolished and the tanks were being moved that there was some murky water, or i.e. maybe tar in the water. And DEPA is the Department of Environmental Protection Agency, that's what the New Jersey version is called, had a report showing that, but they never had Medford do any testing. So Medford thought they had a clean bill of health, and 15 years later, DEPA caught onto it and now made them go back and do all this testing. Whatever's going on, it really is because like there was an oil tank on this thing. It was nothing major. It has no effect on my property. If it had, I would have been notified. It's not like there's runoff or anything. So, but everybody's concerned about that. So I did talk to the environmental consultant. He told me that, the first set of testing in January came back negative, and the second set of testing was going to happen early April, and that assuming that came back clean, then they could do all the process to get the signs removed. So it's causing a problem. After those first few days, I got no listings. My realtor did say she was concerned about that. I wasn't really sure because I was like, people, like, they could just call and ask us, if they did, it's nothing big, but in looking back on it, yeah, I mean, I'm a fairly educated person, so, like, I know that there's environmental issues and issues. And so I just sort of called the number to see, and as long, oops, sorry, I'm hacking my stand here. You know, if it wasn't anything major, like if we're talking about something that, especially something like an oil tank, which I think people can tend to understand, it wouldn't have bothered me. I just would have been like, okay, well, once you get clean the bill of health, you know, whatever. But, you know, for a lot of people, I think they would see that sign and be like, okay, forget it. This one's off my list. We're done. And I think that's what people did. She felt that because people these days, most realtors tell people is like, if you see a house, drive by and see it first, and then see if you want a showing. And that, you know, when they're seeing that sign, they're fleeing, essentially. And so, meanwhile, we did change the listing description because it wasn't clear from it that it was new construction. So when you change the listing, it kind of refreshes it on people's list. So a couple more people came around to see the house, and I was here one Saturday working in the yard. I noticed them drive down the street. They were doing the slow crawl past my house. They see the sign, they stop. They read the sign, and then they leave. And I was like, oh, I think it really is the sign. So I did put out a call to the township to see what we could do about it, because I talked to my realtor. I was like, you know, maybe they can just move the sign, because I would think as the township, they have to get the testing, and I'm not blaming them for that. But unfortunately, that does have an effect on an innocent person. And as a township, I can't imagine that they would want, you know, I would imagine they would feel bad that something that they're doing is causing a resident a problem, especially like you can't sell your house. Because, you know, I didn't lower the price, because even if they really think there's an environmental problem, lowering the price isn't going to do anything. They still wouldn't want it. You know, I could give it away. They still wouldn't want it. So I will let you know what becomes of my conversation with the township. And meanwhile, I've been tackling some projects inside the house. So I have a couple more things to do. And I'm hoping that the last testing comes back clean so that we can get the sign. I mean, ideally, I would like it removed, but if they can just move it to a, you know, more less conspicuous point on that property, that would help me out. And then hopefully maybe we can do another open house and get people to come back. So I'll let you know how I make out with the township. I'll keep you posted. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.